Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Bowl TV. This is Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith, and we are here at the 2017 USBC Senior Masters Stepladder Finals. Opening match today, number 5 seed Andy Dyer from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, taking on Mr. 300, Bob Learn Jr., currently residing in Boynton Beach, Florida. Tons of excitement this week here at Samstown, and now we're down to our final 5 players for this step ladder. It is star-studded for sure. The winner here will move on to meet Hall of Famer Norm Duke in the next match. That winner earns the right to take on our defending champion Pete Weber, the number 2 seed. And the championship match will feature Hall of Famer Walter Ray Williams Jr., who is the only player still undefeated here at the Senior Masters. Walter Ray would have to be beaten twice to be denied his second USBC Senior Masters title. Again, this is Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith. We're behind lanes 21 and 22 here at the Samstown Bowling Center. First match of this year's stepladder. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We would have brought some real talent in for this broadcast, but it's practice day over at the Senior US Open, so here we are. Aaron Smith, how are you today?
Doing great, Matt. Ready to see this all unfold live. Just a quick observation. Andy Dyer, it's the first time I've seen him throw that ball. We've seen quite a few rounds here. So, it was all over the 1-2 yesterday. Need to find a way to carry all 10, though.
Well, again, our stepladder is star-studded for sure. About 800 titles between the 5 of them. And Andy Dyer, the only left-hander in the stepladder, so of course that will play a factor. Both players now perfect so far here in our opening match. We saw Bob Learn Jr. yesterday claim the number 4 seed. He rolled a 300 game in our shootout round. It was a 4-player shootout. And 3 of those players advanced to our stepladder finals. Norm Duke rolled an 817 series, including a 290 start to lead the shootout and claim the 3 seed for the TV show here. Bob Learn followed it up with 300 in the finale, and Andy Dyer snuck in as well at 649. Next man out was Tony Rodriguez Jr., who had a great week. Definitely enjoyed the experience for sure, and it was nice to see him and meet him. No doubt we'll see him down the road, but here we are, down to just 5 here at the Senior Masters. Defending champion Pete Weber is the 2 seed, looking to claim his 3rd Senior Masters title. He'd be the first with 3. Dyer
Runs a little high. 6'8", thinks about standing for a quick second. Knew better.
So these players definitely have gotten command of this 41-foot oil pattern this week. They saw every variation of it. Fresh burn, double burn during qualifying, and then all different variations during match play. It was a long road to this point. We started with 277 players. Whittled that down to 64. Here's the best of the best. Both players 4 for 4 here. 64 players battled in double elimination matches. 3 game sets. Total pinfall determined the winners. And Bob Learn, Andy Dyer, they had a nice run through the winners bracket, so didn't have to bowl too many matches, but definitely clearly have figured something out here, as we've seen 8 shots and 8 strikes.
That's a solid ratio.
And with that, Bob Learn leads at 610. He had a good time yesterday in that shootout and entertained the crowd for sure, and saved all of his carry for game 3. And it was pretty awesome to see Mr. 300 do what he does. And of course, Duke closed one match with a 290 and came back, shot 290 to start the shootout. He's an entertainer as well, so today should be a good time for us.
Bob wasn't done bowling after that 300. Minutes later, had to head in the car, make his way to the South Point Bowling Plaza, bowling at the USBC Open Championship. So, long day.
All right, here's Dyer looking for 5. And he gets it, so he grabs the lead here at the halfway point. Bob Learn with the one miscue. And for the senior players, especially those 60 and older, it's been a nice little opportunity here in Las Vegas. Started things off with the Super Senior Classic. And that event won by local standout Ron Moore, who made a nice run here at the Senior Masters. But along with the Super Senior, they, of course, have this event. Coming up next is the Senior U.S. Open. Uh-oh.
Yowza.
The left-hander high again, trips to 6. Perfect through 6. Got to take those breaks when they come. Speaking of breaks, another standout at these events, Kevin Croucher, who made a good run at both the Senior Masters and the Super Senior Classic, made the stepladder there. Went over to South Point as well, shot 300 in the team event at the Open Championships. So a lot of events for these guys for the price of one plane ticket. However, somebody's looking to pay for a few plane tickets with today's top prize of $16,000 to our champion, $9,000 to the runner-up, $7,000 for third place. Fourth place is $5,000, and the loser of this match here will take home $4,000. That'll pay for a lot of cab rides between bowling centers here in Las Vegas.
Learn lefty 610 here on 21 last time. No chance there.
So Bob Learn, by the time he came our way yesterday, migrated to the outside part of the lane, throwing a little bit of surface, and had a pretty incredible look in the shootout here. It was on 19 and 20 next door. Actually, all of the players did. It really came down to who carried shots like that. And we saw just mostly single pins as the deciding factors in that match. And Dyer, being the only left-hander again, playing with a little bit of surface, trying to open the lane up a little bit. Clearly, whatever strategy they have come up with for today, working. So far, so good.
Looks like he got that shot a little bit further left, but left lane definitely sparking a little bit more for him. But the Sparrow will still hold a one-pin lead.
Again, winner here advances to take on Norm Duke. That is no small task, no pun intended. Norm Duke seemed to catch fire later in the match play rounds. Interesting insider information we got today is that Norm Duke did not practice on this pair prior to the match. Doesn't want to see something that won't be there by the time it's time for his match. So he'll come out after this game, throw a couple shots. Bob Leonard can't get the 9 to go there.
2 pins tomahawking at the 9 and collided. Jeez.
Well, based on where Bob Leonard is playing, out to the right, Norm probably will be out there as well, or a little bit inside of that, using that as maybe some hook to the right. So we'll see. Didn't want to get any preconceptions there.
And we saw Norm find success playing multiple parts of the lane on this 41-foot pattern. Playing pretty direct on 21 and 22 last night against Mika. Then moved to 19 and 20 for the 4-way match. Norm was probably about 10 boards further left at least.
Another great shot by Learn there. He's down 22, however. And we're running out of room here. So Dyer's going to finish this match. He could end it and not even give Learn a chance. We've seen some crazy things happen, but Dyer, who finished 5th in this event last year, looking to improve on that finish and throws another great shot. Dyer can get to 279. Best Bob Learn can do is 257.
Run high a few times on this lane. Important thing with the strike in the ninth, does not lose the count. Got the
Spare
here.
9. Spare 9's enough for the win here. All right. Tough spare under a pressure situation there, but these guys are the best of the best. So 9 pins. And Dyer advances. Anything less, Bob Lerner can tie or possibly win this match. Andy Dyer, what are you made of?
That was a little.
Goes high, gets 7. 256. Gives Bob Lerner a chance. All 3, and he's a winner.
That shot right of target the whole way. It's seen that lane duck hook on him a little bit. And another 9-pin on 22. And Andy Dyer going to advance, improve on last year's 5th place finish.
All right, Bob Lerner, 6'10" in the 5th frame, and a couple of 9 pins later, and he'll be your 5th place finisher this year at the Senior Masters, taking home $4,000. He gave you 300 on Bowl TV yesterday. Great performance all week for Bob Lerner. We'll see him headed over to Suncoast for the Senior US Open. Coming up next, Norm Duke making his way to our TV pair. It'll be Norm Duke and Andy Dyer for the right to face Pete Weber in our semifinal. If you missed any of the action this week from Samstown Bowling Center and the 2017 Senior Masters, you can visit bowl.com/Senior Masters. See all the results from qualifying as well as the 64-player bracket, the elimination bracket there as well. A lot of great information if you want to see the oil pattern that we're bowling on today. A 41-foot pattern, about 29 mils of oil, and just the idea to hold up, transition a little bit less. The Kegel Ice Oil has been great. Again, the players bowled on the burn, the double burn, so fresh only for the first squad of the day, each day in qualifying. They saw each one throughout the week, and just a chance to really test their versatility to see who the top players were at that point. So it took some pretty good numbers, about a 211 average here. We'll pull this up exactly to see what it took to make this top 64.
211 was the number.
There you go, 211 even. We had a tie for the 63rd position. That was Brian Voss and Robert Worrell from Colorado. So 2 great players there. And qualifying leader was Parker Bone III. Broke the 15-game qualifying record. Shot 37-17. But none of that mattered once those pins dropped and we got into head-to-head match play. Parker Bone went down in the first round to Brian Voss. So no matter what, once you get there, you can be matched up against anybody and then on any day, regardless of how the last 3 days went. So we saw the true spirit of the Senior Masters on that day. Parker averaged about 248 for the week and had some great scores thrown at him as well as the scores that he put up. But man, what a great time we had here through qualifying. We saw some great numbers. We had 9 perfect games this week as well. Still a couple games left, or maybe one more.
Norm Duke going to get a few shots here. Andy Dyer's going to be staying loose on 19 and 20. So it looks like Norm a little further left to right. Not quite as far left as we saw him on 19 and 20, I would say, in that round, but definitely not as direct as Magic and Smika. So obviously these players been taking notes all week, what they've seen on the pairs. Got Jim Callahan there as well, keeping an eye on things.
Well, we saw Bob Lerner pretty far right with a little bit of surface, so no doubt that had a little impact on this ice oil. And now Norm here to make the decision. How's he going to attack the TV pair here, 21 and 22? That young man has a few tricks, so he can hit it from multiple angles. Perhaps multiple on the same pair. So looking forward to a great one here. And then coming up next, defending champ Pete Weber. I imagine a motivated Pete Weber, falling short of being the top seed for the 3rd consecutive year. Fell to Walter Ray Williams Jr. in the match to determine the number 1 seed. Pete won this event in 2013. And in 2015, he came back as the top seed, lost twice to Emilio Monticelli. Almost had a similar fate in 2016. Lost the first match of the title tilt to Paul McCordick, and before escaping with a 3-pin victory for his 2nd Senior Masters title. So Pete Weber looking to become the first with 3, the first back-to-back winner since Tom Baker in 2007. And Walter Ray Williams Jr. looking to become the first bowler in history to win both the Masters and the Senior Masters twice apiece.
That's a lot of history, guy.
So we'll watch our final couple shots of practice here. Damon Sirocco, our tournament manager, will do his thing. And then just a moment, we'll have Andy Dyer taking on Norm Duke here at Samstown Bowling Center. 2nd match of our stepladder at the 2017 USBC Senior Masters. Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Tell all your friends. We'll have our champion crowned here very shortly. The trophy is off to the right side there, and we're looking forward to seeing who's going to hoist that here in 2017. All right, and away we go. Match number 2 coming up here at the 2017 Senior Masters. Norm Duke has elected to start the match. So the way that it works, start first, finish last. Norm wants to be the guy. He wants to be able to step up and throw the shots to win it.
And in order to be the man, you have to beat the man. That's Ric Flair. I was just adding that because Ric Flair's cool.
All right. Well, Norm Duke cool as well. Here he is for his first shot. He is pretty far right now compared to where we saw him in practice.
Well, as you mentioned, didn't want to have any preconceived notions from earlier, and apparently found something to his liking, playing a little more direct, maybe even a tad right to left.
Well, he had 6 pretty valuable practice shots and made his decision, and it worked out. Strike on his opening shot. Now the left-hander, Dyer. So although he's the only one over there, the lane's starting to open up. You can see he's migrating right a little bit. So we'll see as he moves more right, a little more angle.
Actually gonna have a ball change. Needed a different look on 21. Great ball change.
We just got some more insider information now that Bob Learn is packing things up. He's headed over to the Open Championships to pull the 1 p.m. doubles and singles squad. So these guys are all bowling all the time. What a run they're having here in Las Vegas, and then action gets underway this week at the Senior U.S. Open. So just back to back to back. Loving every minute of it. And now, just like our opening match, both players perfect through 2. First game we saw Andy Dyer shoot 256 to defeat Bob Learn.
Well, Norm
Bob Learn had 237 in that game.
Clearly didn't like that. He's had some footing issues this week that we've seen here on our featured pairs. And didn't like how he hit the line, but his lines are straight and ball held for 10 back.
Dyer flirting with that high pocket hit again. We saw him trip a couple 6 pins in our opening match, making the ball change on the left lane. A little smoother surface. So definitely that ball gets down the lane a little bit more. We saw he was checking up early on 21, so logic there. Good decision. It's paid off now. Dyer 4 for 4, but interested to see what the move is going to be on the right lane. Do you move right and circle it a little bit more, or do you pull out that ball on the right lane now and get that extra few feet?
I think a lot depends on what happens here in these next 2 shots for Duke. Splits of the 8-9.
We saw Duke with a pair of 290s yesterday. Didn't seem to like striking in the first frame. When he did, the best he could muster up was 276, 279. So, but we'll see. Here he is 4 for 4, and we're all even through 4 frames.
Definitely stuck the landing better on that one, but oh goodness.
About that 710 on lane 21, that has been rearing its ugly head here throughout the week. Norm on the receiving end of a similar break in a match against Michael Haugen. Haugen needed a mark in the 10th frame, left the 710, allowed Norm to continue on. And now here he is on the stepladder final, leaving a 710 of his own. So he now falls behind here. See if Dyer can capitalize on the unfortunate break.
Gonna stick with the same ball. And runs high once again.
So every shot a little bit higher and higher.
This is turning into a Molly Hatchet song really quick. Flirting with disaster, but
so lucky to get the 6 out there. Could have been the 4-6 or worse. Only looking at the 4 pin. We'll have the advantage here at the halfway point. But definitely that right lane is going to be the factor now for Andy Dyer. Locked in on 21 now after the change. Already improved on last year's 5th place finish, so it's all up from here. But definitely he's going to go and think this through. He's going to have a couple of big shots coming up.
just hold a 13-pin advantage.
Dyer will finish on the left lane, which is
Says flip to his good line.
to his benefit. And yeah, just making the quick decision to figure that one out.
Duke actually going a little more left to right on 22, more direct on 21.
Duke down 13, keeping the pressure on here. Again, Dyer will finish first. Duke's gonna take the re-rack, possibly just taking a breather here to have a moment, gather his focus. He knows there's a huge shot coming up here. Norm having issues with the approach there on the right side on lane 21, and not a good shot. Misses the head pin right. Does not lose any count as he was on a strike, but I'd say this probably not the easiest spare with the sleeper back there.
Makes it a little more interesting than he was hoping for it to be. But cleans it up. Dyer is making that ball change, and that one, he didn't give it a chance. Another situation where count wasn't lost.
So I think, as a fellow left-hander, I think in that case, the move would have been switch balls and creep left.
Great cover, big cover. Well done, Andy.
So switch balls, creep back left, because you know that ball is a little bit straighter. It's going to get down the lane, and it did. It got down there. Now, no change. Dyer still leads by 13 after 7. So, more direct, a square on lane 21, and the result far different. So just make that change on 22 and should be in business.
Duke 8th frame. Asking for some hold. Gets a nice hit.
Well, definitely wasn't as pretty and solid as some of the strikes we saw him throw yesterday to get to this point, but none of that matters. It all looks the same on the scoreboard. If you're just tuning in, that's all you'll see is the X up there. But Norm Duke now still down 13. 9th frame.
Making the move. Talk about that. Big time moment. Needed to set up the 10th. Makes a big jump left. Dyer switching back. Says, I'm just going to throw this one better.
Looks like a little bit straighter, maybe amped up the speed a little bit, but the result, strike up. So he doubles up in the 8th and 9th. Leads by 13. He can end this right now, just as same position we saw in the opening game. Dyer can get to 259.
It's going to be pretty good.
Snaps out to 7. Best Duke can do is 246.
Decent count here will be enough. at least 9. We'll move Dyer on to the next round. Not going to chance it a second time. That's going to be a winner. Andy Dyer will be moving on to face our defending champion in the semifinals, Pete Weber.
So coming up next, the one-time PBA champion will take on the 37-time PBA champion.
In case anyone is wondering, Andy Dyer averaging 256 today. The model of consistency.
So Pete Weber knows coming in. All he's got to do is shoot 257 and he'll have a chance.
Well, Norm's going to fall a little bit short this week of a first Senior Masters.
See what you did there.
That was unintentional, I swear. But he put on some great shows for us. Can't talk enough about that performance last night. Those final 2 rounds, 771 against Mika Koivuniemi, finishing up with a 290. Was down 30+ pins heading into that final game. Got to see another 290 to start. In the shootout round, 817. Made a great move on 21, just a little bit too late, it appeared. He's going to take home 4th place and $5,000 for the effort. 256, 225. Final total. All right. Walter's going to get the opportunity to throw a shot or two here, along with Pete. Andy Dyer staying loose once again, 19 and 20. Big thanks to everyone for joining us here. Obviously, this is a star-studded field. Doesn't get much better than this. We're nearly up to 1,900 watching live.
The bowling's not bad either.
The bowling's not bad either. So if you like what you're seeing, please feel free to give that thumbs up a click below the video. Be sure to let folks know on social media that, that you're tuning in. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. We're down to 3 players. Andy Dyer, Pete Weber, Walter Ray Williams Jr. So let us know who you got. Big shout out so far, or I shouldn't say so far, always to our gold industry partners, Columbia 300, Hammer, Kegel, and Storm for their continued support, helping us build a future for the sport. Big thanks to the staff here at Sam's Town. They got a great introduction earlier today. Mike Kaufman on site, along with his manager here at Sam's Town, Tom Pippinger, and their whole crew has been great all week. Super Senior Classics, Senior Masters. Always love coming to Sam's Town. They take care of us. They take care of the bowlers. And going to be more excitement for these competitors coming up throughout the week. They're heading to Suncoast for the Senior U.S. Open. Coverage of that going to be on Extra Frame, so our buddies over there going to be taking care of business. So you're getting your fill of bowling.
%50 chance Aaron Smith does some karaoke here during the practice. sweet jams happening in the background.
They're rocking the tunes. It's got a good, good Sunday morning vibe to it. Well, Eddie Money earlier. Can't go wrong with Eddie Money. I mean, his last name's Money. The outfield right now, little Josie.
Aaron wants to be on a vacation.
Far, far away.
Far, far away.
This is fantastic. A few practice shots left here, and our semifinal match will be underway. Pete Weber and Andy Dyer.
We'll put the question out there. Pete Weber has been in the title match at this event the last 2 years. Before that, it was Walter Ray Williams Jr. taking home the title in 2014. Can Pete Weber get back there? Got 3 great bowlers here, a lefty and Andy Dyer. Back-to-back 256 games. Pete Weber coming in motivated as the defending champ. And Walter Ray Williams Jr. said he hasn't been bowling that well this summer. Looking to get back into the winner's circle. He's your #1 seed, must be beaten twice. In the chat room, who's your pick?
All right, Damon Sirocco, done with the introductions. It's go time. Semifinal match, 2017 USBC Senior Masters. Weber will elect to start.
Whoever starts things off in style. Again, folks, if you're just joining us, thank you very much. This is the Stepladder of the 2017 USBC Senior Masters here at the Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas. Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith. Joining us this game, the left-hander, Andy Dyer, just that one wide left to start his match here against Pete Weber. Dyer's been having to flip-flop between a couple bowling balls here on our featured pair. Struggling with the reaction a little bit. Gives it a run, gets 2. So was going high on the right lane. Made what appeared to be the right ball change, but not the right move with his feet. 5 count washout. Switch back late in the game, and now starts with a split here. Ball never made it back on the right lane. The left lane, however, he's been Eddie Money.
See what you did there. Just like that. 2 tickets to paradise in 21.
So,
yeah, it looked like he had amped the speed up in the last time up on 22, and that with a little bit left on that first shot, just not enough to get over.
Weber high flush 2 for 2 here. Saw him roll one of the 9 perfect games this week at Samstown. Pete battling some injuries in recent weeks. Tweaked his back in an Indianapolis event. Forced to withdraw. Went home, rested. Didn't do much bowling. Said he was feeling as good as ever coming into this week. Certainly threw some great shots. Qualified 2nd overall behind record-breaking Parker Bone III.
for the early three-bagger.
Ferocious Pete Weber. We'll have to go and talk about his first match here on our featured pair 19 and 20. Low scoring affair, but doubled in the 10th frame to beat Robert Warral to 588 to 579. So squeak that one out. Here's Dyer on the right lane.
It's a better shot. Still kept a little high, but.
All right, then Pete's second match, he took on his good friend Chris Warren. And both players had the front 8. Game 2, Pete went on to shoot 300. And again, similar situation, had to double in the 10th to lock out Warren. Got there, score a little bit different, 781 to 774. So 200 pin swing, but both times stepped up and doubled when he had to. And Andy Dyer doubles because he has to.
Can't let too many frames slip away against PDW.
So Dyer, his blemish here, 3.679 in the opening frame. Weber perfect through 3.
More than 2,000 watching live at the moment.
Ooh, that one looked left off his
And,
hand. Nice break though to roll the 6. Now we will defer to Aaron Smith for expert commentary about things on the right side of the lane. And I'll try to read the mind of the left-hander, Andy Dyer.
Sounds terrifying. Obviously a little more traffic on the right side. Bob Learn going pretty direct with some surface. Norm kind of going back and forth, especially on the left lane. Can imagine could get a pretty good read off of what Norm was doing. Those two have seen each other over the years for so long that I'm sure if Pete sees Norm doing one thing, he knows I can adapt this to my game in a certain sense.
Weber, I don't know that I've seen this. He's sitting down between shots, taking his time, getting up there, regrouping, throwing a great shot. Weber now. Back-to-back spares. Dyer, big opportunity here. See if he's figured out the right lane. First one out the window. Second one high flush for a strike. Dyer will finish on the left lane. High flush again. Looks like the speed a little bit slower there compared to that first one. The result much better, but dangerous territory.
Just like that, Andy Dyer, pair of 256s to start, takes the lead. Looking to make the full run up the step ladder. He's climbed a few steps already.
That one kind of labored down lane a little bit. Got there, but not a lot of that PDW pow to it. Leaves a 7-pin. in the spare. So despite the early three-bagger, now Weber feeling the pressure here.
Pete's going to take a re-rack and take the opportunity to take a second. Nearly 2,100 watching live. Big thanks to each and every one of you for joining us. Weber looking to get back in line, doesn't like it. Gets it to hold.
Dyer up on lane 22. That's been the challenging lane here. Working on a five-bagger. Shot much better. Never doubt. 6 in a row. And this week, on the way to the stepladder, Dyer picked up wins against John Burkett, Mark Williams, John Shivonic. Shooting 710 plus in each of those wins.
Wow. Late trip of the 10. Pete doesn't get the 7 on the right side to get that hit. That was the closest Andy came to lefty, and come to leaving 7 pin as well. He's been, that's what we saw a lot yesterday, was getting to the 1-2 but not getting the 7 out. Well, solve that puzzle.
Got a little bit more traffic now, being the only left-hander, but now in his 3rd game on this pair. Weber answers with the double. Pete can get to 256. Based on our previous 2 matches, that would be enough to tie. These two did meet earlier in the event, actually in the match that determined who would go to the match. That would determine the 1 and 2 seeds. So
the match before the match.
The match before the match, Pete Weber prevailed 658 to 574. So the only time we really saw any weakness or faltering from Dyer, Weber went on to face Walter Ray Williams Jr. Walter won that match to be the number 1 seed. Pete number 2. Andy Dyer advanced to the shootout round. Pete distracted by some coughing in the audience. Just gonna step back. Big shot coming up here. Walter A down yonder. Getting loose. Here's Weber looking for 3 in a row.
Oh.
10 pin won't go.
Cannot,
235 now, the best Weber can do.
Cannot throw it much better than that. So Dyer's going to have the chance once again. He's finished first in every match. And one more opportunity to step up and shut out.
All right, well, it finally happened. Going high on the right lane on most of his shots. Leaves a 6 pin, but still in a good position here. They'll be up 22.
Covers the spare. Any type of mark here.
We know what's going to happen. Double and 9. 256.
Triplicate out there.
So Andy Dyer in position here. His fate once again. Gets the first one. He knows what's happening. He is moving on. He will face Walter Ray Williams Jr. for the title here at the 2017 USBC Senior Masters. Andy Dyer delivers, battling that right lane, but crushing the left lane. Puts together a string here, and it's enough.
There's that first 7-pin.
He didn't realize it was only the second shot in the 10th there. So his average will go down. 247 with the spare. He's your winner, Andy Dyer, the left-hander from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, going on to the title match. 3 wins today, taking down Bob Learn Jr., Norm Duke, and Pete Weber. A trio of superstars. And he's got one more standing in his way. Walter Ray Williams Jr. looking to get back on top. Won this event in 2014. Dyer will have to beat Walter Ray twice if he's going to be our Senior Masters champion here in 2017.
All right, folks. You heard Damon Sirocco, our tournament manager, as well as the outfield coming back on. Walter Ray gonna get a few practice shots, and then it's go time. True double elimination format here means Walter Ray would have to lose twice to Andy Dyer to be denied his second Senior Masters title. Would become the 7th bowler in history to own a pair of them, and the first to ever own 2 Senior Masters and 2 USBC Masters titles.
Pete Weber finishes 3rd, takes home $7,000. Norm Duke 4th, $5,000. Bob Learn Jr. $4,000 to invest in some side action over at the USBC Open Championships on today's 1 p.m. squad.
Yeah, senior brackets.
So, what a day so far. Andy Dyer climbing the ladder. Now, Walter Ray Williams Jr. Good thing we learned how to say his name finally. Andy Dyer, like Dyer, but with an N.
I don't know how I feel about the Jefferson Starship maneuver here, though.
Sweet song.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
We're
What are you talking about?
jamming out. This is it.
You have lost your mind.
Different generation, sir.
Apparently so.
I am
I
1 foot in the Senior Masters already.
I guess so. I'm not sure if we can be friends after comments like that, but that's okay. I'll get over it. Seeing we have to work together at the Open for another month, so. But to each their own, so. Totally not judging.
Final shots coming up here for Walter Ray Williams Jr. Andy Dyer waiting off to the side, talking strategy right now. He'll be back on the lanes in just 1 minute to take on who many would argue is the greatest bowler of all time. We'll save that debate for another day, but certainly adding one more Senior Masters title wouldn't hurt that argument.
We talked a little bit about Walter Ray, mentioning that Friday was arguably the best he had thrown the ball in a long, long time. Said he was pretty happy with the ball selection this week as well. Had a new rock that he drilled up and gave him a really, really nice look along with throwing it well. Two very good combinations. Has been lights out. He averaged better than 244 in his 6 wins on his way to the #1 seed, just running over people. We saw a lot of high-scoring matches, and Walter Ray really never put in that, must-strike situation. We talked about Weber having to throw a few doubles to win matches. Walter Ray pretty much had most of his matches well in hand.
This is it. $16,000 up top. 2017 Senior Masters champion title on the line. How about a round of applause for these two competitors here?
Well-deserved round of applause. Long week coming to an end. Walter Ray Williams Jr. will kick things off.
So Aaron just pointing out this is the first match. Well, no, same situation. Dyer is going to get to finish on the left lane once again. It's been his good lane. If I was coming in, I'd probably want him to finish on the right if it came down to it. But Walter Ray elects to start the match on the left, and he will finish now last again. So Dyer's had the chance to close things out each of the first 3 matches before his opponent even had a chance to step up in the 10th frame.
It's the kick on the 7. I don't think that's necessarily maybe them noticing that Andy's had struggles, but maybe just their preference, obviously, between Norm, Bob, PDW, and Walter Ray. They have about a bazillion titles, so.
Definitely interesting strategic opportunity. Do you want to?
That's trouble.
First sign of trouble on that left lane since early in this Stepladder, just before making the ball change. But definitely strategy interesting. Do you want to consider your opponent's strengths and weaknesses, or do you want to go with where you feel the most comfortable, where you can have the best chance to win, or a combination of both? That one right up there on the list of tough spares. Dyer has no problem. 2, 4, 7, 8. So Walter Ray answers. Now looking to jump out to the early lead here. It's a double. 10 pinned. First shot on this frame. First shot on this lane. This time it's the 7. However, not both, which is the relieving part of that situation. Again, folks, if you're just dropping in, thank you. Appreciate it. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith, and you're watching the title match of the 2017 USBC Senior Masters here in Las Vegas, Samstown Bowling Center. Great host all week. And now coming down to the left-hander, Andy Dyer, and Walter Ray Williams Jr. Walter Ray, undefeated in match play, so would need to be beaten twice here to be denied the title.
Interesting note, some folks pointed out in the chat, and yes, Andy Dyer has won one career PBA title. That was the 1994 Bud Light Hall of Fame Championship, bowling against Walter Ray Williams Jr. in that title match. The roles were reversed, however. Dyer was the top seed. Walter Ray was the 3 seed, so won a few matches. That's a better shot on 21. So just a physical miscue in the second frame.
All right, so all kinds of good facts and figures coming out. We also mentioned this week Andy Dyer, a record holder for the USBC for career 300s, 800s, and in a season. I'm sure he'd like to add one PBA 50 title to his credit as well. Walter Ray trying to conquer lane 21, and he does. First the 10, then the 7 now. A no-doubter. I think a few of those pins might be on lane 18 right now. That one was solid for the Hall of Famer.
Trouble in the 5th.
But lane 22 has been a roller coaster for the Southpaw, and definitely very touchy. A couple got left and never made it back, and many were high flush with good results. Gives it a run, gets 2. We knew he was flirting with that high flush strike, and just again very touchy right lane. 2, 4, 6, 10. Could be the undoing for Dyer here. Little revenge for Walter Ray 23 years later.
Goodness. Maybe just a touch slow on that one. Big 4. Back-to-back opens. Certainly, Walter Ray knows what to do in this situation.
Deep breath for the Hall of Famer. Big, big opportunity here. Working on a double. Three in a row. So many sports cliches that come to mind right now.
Sunday, though. We used them all up on Saturday, I thought.
Walter Ray can put this out of reach here. Working on 3 in a row. Best Dyer can get to is 220 after the back-to-back opens. 4-bagger, foot on throat, as they say. An unrecoverable, perhaps, situation here for Dyer. An awesome run. Back up on lane 22 split. Last time on this lane went high, 2-4, 6-10. Back on track, so you can see by his mannerisms that he's able to recognize what went wrong in the 5th frame. Dyer not wasting any time. Back on the approach. Double up, at least put some pressure on the Hall of Famer, and he does. That's all he can do. 2 great shots there. Walter Ray in command, working on a 4-bagger. Awesome week for the left-hander. Proved on last year's finish. 5th in 2016. Ooh, Walter Ray, 9-pin. So a sizable lead for Walter Ray. He's going to step up now in the 9th. Take a re-rack. A deep breath.
21 has been the popular lane of choice for re-racks.
Walter Ray, max score 249. Dyer can get to 220. So one more strike here, and Walter Ray is in prime position. Really, any kind of mark. But why not that kind? Walter Ray strikes in the 9th. So Dyer in an absolutely must-strike situation.
If he's able to strike out, he would force Walter Ray to at least mark in the 10th.
Big shot, lane 22. Dyer at least going to apply the pressure. Goes left. Makes it back, mixes him up, leaves the 10. That is going to do it.
So Walter Ray officially will just need 1 pin and 2 shots to secure his 2nd USBC Senior Masters title.
Here's Dyer, final shot, 2017 USBC Senior Masters. All
Great
10
run,
back,
Randy.
so he forces Walter to get 1 pin. Walter Ray getting it done in style. Aaron Smith's going to get on the camera here. We'll get those Final close-ups of this victory lap for Walter Ray. All right, 2 in the 10th for the Hall of Famer. 249 is the max score here. Walter Ray becomes the first bowler in history to win the Masters and Senior Masters 2 times. And he gets a little redemption for a 1994 loss to Dyer, giving Dyer his only PBA Tour title. Walter Ray 248 to 199 over Andy Dyer. Walter Ray celebrating with the family, wife and daughter. We'll have the trophy presentation coming up here in just one moment. All right, Aaron Smith's going to be the man on the camera. I'm going to head down and take a few photos of the presentation, folks. We'll be right back to wrap things up in just a minute. Walter Ray Williams Jr., 2017 USBC Senior Masters champion. We'll be right back.
Out here to present our trophy to our winner is the Director of Bowling Operations for Boyd Gaming, Mike Kaufman. Mike, hand that trophy over to Walter Ray. Congratulations, Walter. All right, Walter Ray, in addition to that brand new trophy that's going in the trophy case, our general manager, Tom Piper, has a big check for you, $16,000. Congratulations, Walter Ray Williams Jr., your 2017 Senior Masters champion. Walter, just a couple of quick questions here before we get off the live stream here. You averaged better than 240 this week, pretty much dominated match play. What were the keys to success this week during the match play portion?
Tom Carter drove me up a new ball this week. I asked him, I need something to cover back in, but I don't have any trouble with the ball straight back in. He drove me this new crutch, and it got me through qualifying. I didn't bowl absolutely awesome, but I bowled all right. Bowled like 16th in the match play. I got to play a little bit more of my favorite line playing out there on the first arrow, and started bowling the ball really well. It's been a while since I bowled as well. Fortunately, my opponents didn't push me too hard, which is kind of nice. And this trophy needs to be a great start to going. I'll bowl everybody all week, and you got to lead it early on. So I was kind of fortunate in that regard. It's great to win again and win a major. And being here 2 weeks, things fancy. I got my daughter back there with me. It's awesome. And please full support. Thanks to Brunswick for making great bowling balls. And I got the fortune I just go select. If you know somebody that's in the team years and wants to take the driving program, go see them. Awesome. And vice versa. And Jamestown, thanks a lot for having us. Voice Properties. And also my Dexter shoes.
All right, congratulations, Walter Ray. Once again, your 2017 Senior Masters champion, Walter Ray Williams Jr. Congratulations, Walter Ray.
All right, folks, that's going to do it from the 2017 USBC Senior Masters. Walter Ray Williams Jr., your champion here, defeating Andy Dyer 248 to 199 in the title match. Dyer making his way from the number 5 seed all the way to the title match. Unfortunately, just not enough against the Hall of Famer. What an amazing week here at Sam's Town on Bowl TV. A lot of big scores, a lot of drama, a lot of excitement, and we appreciate each and every one of you for joining us throughout the week. So that's going to do it for our broadcast. We're going to chat with Walter Ray real quick. We'll have a recap on bowl.com in just a little bit, as well as the Sport of Bowling USBC on Facebook and at USBC on Twitter. So for Matt Cannizzaro, I'm Aaron Smith. We'll see you next time here on Bowl TV, coming up real soon. So take care. Have a great Sunday. And keep on keeping on.